Fresh division within the Democrat Party. Senator Bernie Sanders reportedly refusing to sign on to a statement condemning protesters who followed Democrat Senator Kyrsten Sinema into the ladies' room over the weekend. Axios has obtained emails between Senate Democrat leaders showing Sanders' communications team response after organizers denied Sanders' proposed changes to the letter. A Sanders aide wrote this, quote, "Sanders will not be signing, so please cut Senate Democrat leadership team from the headline." Power panel weighs in. Gianno Caldwell, Fox News political analyst, is with us today, and so is Leslie Marshall, Fox News contributor. Great to see you both.
Great to be
so
with
what's
you.
at play here, do you think, Gianno? Why doesn't Senator Sanders want to say what's wrong? We all know the difference between right and wrong, and that was wrong.
Well, I think for Senator Sanders, this is even more problematic for him than any other Democrat in the Senate not signing on to this letter. You keep in mind, one of his supporters tried to take out murder Republicans at a baseball game, one of his supporters. So he should be one of the first to jump on to sign a letter. This is indicative of polling that we saw back in November 2018, where it said that 80% of Americans feared political violence. And now we see polling as early as this year in March, where nearly 1 in 3 Americans feel that taking violent actions is appropriate when a politician refuses to protect the country, whatever that means. Democrats should be up in front of this. This is the party who says that they're about compassion, they're about respect, and let's be true. If a Republican or a Trump supporter had did what we see these liberal protesters doing, or rather these progressive protesters doing, they would be calling for the FBI and the DOJ to get involved and be looking to label them as domestic terrorists, as we see what they're doing with parents in school board meetings. So this needs to stop. They need to get very loud, and I'm talking about Democrats, because right now they're encouraging violent behavior with their rhetoric.
You know, Leslie, having been stalked for years earlier in my career, I can tell you that things go sideways if you spend enough time close enough to somebody that you're not supposed to be near. And so I'm wondering why Democrats don't call this out. The party particularly who say that they care the most about women, particularly. That's a ladies' room. There are people of every ilk walking into the ladies' room beyond a secure locked spot. We don't know what's on them. We don't know what their motives are.
I agree with you 100%. You know, Harris, one day I was walking to Target with my daughter, and somebody turned around and said, "I know that voice. Are you Leslie Marshall?" And it was the way he said it. I said, "No." My daughter said, "Why did you lie?" I said, "Because I don't know what he has in his pocket." Look, I think it's terrible for a Democrat or a Republican.
Well, you can do that. The senator can't do that.
An elected official,
she
whether
can't
into
lie.
the ladies' room or standing outside of their house. That's not appropriate. There are boundaries, and that is going over the line in those boundaries, in my opinion. However, Senator Bernie Sanders has always marched to the beat of his own drum. And it doesn't matter how many Democrats stand up and call out or write letters. That doesn't change any more than Republicans standing up and calling out and writing letters didn't change January 6th. You know, we see this on both sides, extremism on both sides, hateful rhetoric on both sides, and it's got to stop. It's bad for our country. It's bad for our elected officials. And Senator Bernie Sanders also, you have to remember, you know, he is not only not a Democrat, he is an independent, but, you know, his
all right, I want to step in there because you know that you know all shades of ridiculousness are about that. His protege was AOC.
Yeah.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And while some people may call them socialists, it's not really understood that they would be something other than a Democrat voting party friend. We'll put it that way. But honestly, Leslie, if you let this go far enough, it's going places where we don't know where it will end up. And I'm wondering if there's been a shift inside the Democrat Party, because President Biden's even saying there's no problem with this. It makes me wonder if somebody followed the First Lady into a bathroom and he says, well, the difference is Secret Service. The difference is personal safety. All right, I'll move on. Rules for thee and not for me. Liberal squad member Rashida Tlaib with this admission about her mask wearing at a recent event. Let's watch together.
I thought you were like, oh, wait, he's the one unmasked guy.
Because I got a Republican cracker.
This isn't the first time she's been caught red-handed doing something that perhaps she shouldn't, or saying the quiet part out loud. In August, she was seen maskless on a dance floor, despite CDC guidelines for wearing a mask indoors. Leslie.
You've heard me say it on this show, every show. I think true leaders lead by example. I don't care if you're wearing a D or an R on your lapel. But here's the thing, and I'm not surprised that she said that. That very much goes to her personality, the snarkiness there. But it does depend where you are, right? Which state? If you're indoors, if you're outdoors, are you vaccinated? I just went to a birthday party where they honestly asked me if I'm vaccinated because there was going to be a friend of mine who was pregnant there, and everybody at that party, and we were outside, was vaccinated. None of us were wearing masks. We were close with each other. We were all vaccinated, and we were outside. But true leaders do need to lead by example. But if she's vaccinated or she's outside, that's not a problem, according to the CDC.
Jono, and we've got less than a minute here, but I don't know if you could hear the further audio. She said, "Oh, I'm doing this because I've got a Republican tracker."
Right.
What
exactly.
is that? And what does it matter who's around you if you're wearing a mask?
Listen,
if you know you should be wearing one for whatever the rules are in that environment.
The hypocrisy stinks right now. And I got to tell you, it's not just many members of the Democratic Party, which we've seen numerous individuals like Nancy Pelosi getting her hair done. We've seen Gavin Newsom at French Laundry restaurant. We've seen a number of folks doing this kind of thing. But truth be told, why is it we're not seeing more media coverage of this kind of thing? And that's what becomes disgusting, because more people have died in 2021 than they did in 2020 because of COVID.
Good to see you both. Bring you back.
Thank you.